kept the Central drive going late in the first half.
Good kick, picked up by Northern, back at about the 20. And out across the 35 to about the 37-yard line with it. He's John Montoya, number 30. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Northern right there. We're deadlocked 7-7. Matt Malone with a 30-yard touchdown run for Portage Northern. And it was via the airwaves that Portage Central scored a 9-yard touchdown pass night to Randy Buller with just 8 seconds left before halftime. So the momentum at halftime certainly in Portage Central's favor, but Portage Northern's got to feel good about the fact that they've played 2 quarters even up with Central. Brent Keller, the quarterback. This is Malone, left side, across the 40 and out near the 45, dragging bodies with him.
Well, another 7 yards, and he's almost a lock for a 100-yard game, coming off his 216-yard game of last weekend.
I'll tell you what, he is a hard-nosed young man. Makes all the tackles on defense, and that time he just dove into the pile, and you saw the whole pile just move back. 5 yards.
8 carries for 70 yards in the first half. He's averaging 6.6 coming into tonight's game, and he's doing better than that tonight. I guess like the key to the second half, the Central's size is going to be more important than Northern's quickness. And Northern's not a real small team, but Central is so big, and are they going to wear them down here in the second half?
I give you my key, and that is who's going to make the mistake. We've had no turnovers in this ball game. I think someone will make a mistake, make a turnover, and that's going to be the key. Second down, about 5. Malone again. Still on his feet across midfield down to the 49 of Portage Central.
Some good running. Puts his hand on the ground at about the 47-yard line and gets a couple more yards. We'll take a look at that.
Running on 3s that time.
Malone right up the middle. Finds a little hole. Almost goes down. Keeps his balance. Picks up a couple more yards for a first down. You know, we say no turnovers in the first half. Central fumbled 3 times, but didn't lose it. And Northern, even though they didn't make a turnover or fumble the ball, on 4th down, twice, when they should have had possession of the ball, had 2 penalties called against them, which kept Central in possession of the football.
And one of those penalties led to the Central touchdown. 1st and 10, Portage Northern, Brent Keller. Long down. Dive back to the sophomore Green. Has a yard, maybe 2. Bottom of the pile for Portage Central, number 56 was Eric Munson. Give him a gain of maybe 2. It'll be second down and about 8.
Joe Wooden, talking about his offensive line, said they're not real big, but they're real smart. All 5 of them have grade point averages higher than 3.2. And he points that out because he says he likes to do a lot of finesse blocking. They're quick on their feet, they think smart, and they're able to open up some holes for guys like Lalonde to make some good games.
They've done a good job. I think Northern, if anyone, has controlled the line of scrimmage. Lalonde that time dives down near the 45, gain of a couple, 2 or 3, and it's going to be 3rd down about 5. Eric Munson on the stop for Portage Central. Again, this is the 23rd game in the series between Central and Northern, and they are deadlocked 11-11. Also an important ball game in the Big 8. Both these clubs come in at 1-0, and one of them will stand atop of the conference standings. The other will fall a game behind. 3rd down. Central shows blitz. Throw is Keller. Keeper for Keller. 40. And down to about the 37. Should be a first down.
And a great block by number 22, Tom Cronk, in the backfield to spring Keller for the first down. Cronk, the lead blocker, took out the outside linebacker for Central.
All right, let's watch for number 22 here. There you see him running in front of the quarterback.
There's the block.
You see the block.
Keller gets outside and picks up the first down.
Got just enough of Mark Ruers to slow him up and allow Keller to turn the corner. 1st and 10, Portage Northern, the initial drive of the second half. And the Huskies have been impressive. They've driven down now to the 38 of Portage Central. And they are again at the point where, on a 4th down, I'm sure they would try a long field goal by Albertson. Keller to his second back. A back we haven't seen yet tonight.
Looks like number 40, Rob Bannister.
I think you're right. Rob Bannister, who's the tight end most of the time, gets the carry. No, number 10, they're telling us. Number 10 is Sam Harb.
A junior halfback who also plays quarterback on defense.
Getting hard to read some of the numbers out here after the mud obscures them. Anyway, gain of 4. It'll be second down 6 for Northern. Malone is in motion. Gets the football. He's inside the 30. Down near the 25. Looks like another first down. Depends on the mark. Very close to the first down stick.
And Northern doing it all on the ground here in the second half. Opening up some good holes on the Northern offensive line. And, of course, they're taking advantage of it. Malone, what a nifty runner. Some good move. Finds a little opening. Squirts through and picks up some good yardage.
Really does move and adjust very well to the hole. First and 10 Northern. Marks the football down at the 27 of Portage Central. 7-7 we're tied. And Northern's run off about the first 5 minutes of this second half.
And more importantly, they put themselves in scoring position because they are in Albertson's range, easily within Albertson's range.
Central shows blitz. Hits Malone, and he's not going anywhere. Good defensive play that time. Number 88, Evan Polderman, 6'3", 200 pounds, and a senior. Got out there, and Malone just had nowhere to go. Dave Kalinsky out there as well for the Mustangs. He a loss of 3, second down 13. We've got just a moment here. We should say thank you to Carl LaCora, the AD for Portage Northern, for all of his help with this ball game. And as always, we are dependent on those athletic directors for their support, along with the coaching staff. And we appreciate that. Kyle can't see that unhappy with the ball game right now. They're going to throw it. Is it a catch? No, incomplete. Off the fingertips of Jay Martin, number 5 out there. From our vantage point, I thought maybe he was going to make the one-handed grab.
Almost a great catch by Martin. Keller led him just a little too far, and Martin tried to stick the one hand up and pull it in.
See how close it really was.
Just off the fingertips.
Plenty close. Be third down 13, facing Northern.
And you know that Coach Joe Wood would love to put some points on the board. Either a touchdown or a field goal, opening up the third quarter.
Third and 13. Big play for the Huskies. Back to throw is Keller. Screen pass Malone, couldn't hang on.
Probably just as well. Malone on the 35-yard line, kind of surrounded by a couple of the Mustang defenders.
Eric Munson was over there. And it's going to be fourth down. And I'm looking out on the field, and indeed, number 1, John Albertson has stepped out there.
We're going to set up about a 47-yarder for Albertson, well within his range. As we mentioned earlier, a 54-yard field goal earlier this year.
I tell you, this is a long way for anybody. In these conditions, he is standing right in the muddy center of the field.
Actually, the best kicking he's done has been on the extra point, when he kicked it about 50 yards.
Well, he's got plenty of leg. We'll see if he can stay up. Flips a little. And
good. 47 yards.
John Albertson shows you why he's gotten some 600 letters from colleges. One of the best placed kickers in the nation. 47 yards.
He slipped just as he kicked it, but still had enough leg. Just over the crossbar.
He actually fell down. He did fall down. Albertson falls down, but connects from 47. And it's 10-7, Northern on top. Well, what a boost for the Huskies to start the second half and put some points on the board.
Well, giving up that late first half touchdown with only 8 seconds left, instead of going into the locker room up by a touchdown, they go inside. Of course, getting the ball, marching smartly down the field to open up the third quarter, and Albertson with a 47-yarder. And this is not only a good football game, but a shocker. Northern was not supposed to be in the game this close, this late in the game.
Well, you know, the odds makers might say that, but I bet both coaching staffs would have told you this is just what we're going to have.
Well, Joe Wood says he loves his team to be underdogs. He loves his team to be picked last because he likes to come out with some surprises. And you got to know that Central's got to be seeing some of those surprises tonight.
The big guy, number 77, Doug Roberts, is out there on the kickoff return team for Portage Central. Just turned around, stuck his fist in the air, told his teammates, let's go. It's Hewitt from the 5. 35. He He's loose. 50. One man to beat, and he can. Saving tackle by Shannon Shoquist, standing back in midfield. The only thing that stopped Steve Hewitt from a 95-yard kickoff return.
Let's look at it again. And Hewitt pretty much untouched. We've got a great view here from the end zone. Took it on the 5-yard line, started up the middle of the field, found the opening, cut right, and it looked for a minute like he was off to the races, and here comes Shannon Shoquist, dragging him down on the 45-yard line. Great run back.
First and 10, super field position for Portage Central. Dan Knight will start the second half at quarterback. Option keeper, maybe a yard. Malone is over there on the stop, along with Derek Green, and Green's getting up a little slowly.
Green, another one of the two-way players for Northern, playing in the backfield on offense. Big fullback also on the defensive line for Northern. Good pursuit on the part of the line and the linebackers for Northern, playing in the traditional 4-3 defense.
Those backers very, very active for Northern. Boy, you get Green and Malone back there, and they just chase side to side on the field. Flags fly, and I'm sure we're delayed a game.
Looked like some movement on the offensive line. In any case, it's going to cost Central 5 yards to back them up.
I don't know if we'll be able to get a good look at it. You mentioned a standard 4-3 for Northern. It's really what folks call the Michigan State now, where the two middle men on the 4 will pinch in on the center. And one of them will slant, the other will go head up on somebody. Intended to confuse the center and ruin the entire blocking scheme. Nail up! Let's go! Second down, 14. Facing Portage Central. Back to throw is Knight. Looking downfield, he'll have to keep it. And Knight hit by Lalone after a gain of near 10 yards. Mark it down at the 40 of Portage Northern. I'll tell you, Matt Lalone is all but sewing up our Old Kent MVP award here early. Better than 80 yards on the offense, including a 30-yard touchdown run. Must be closing in on double figures for tackles already. He's just having a standout ball game.
We're going to get a good look at the Northern defense here. The defense, as you mentioned, Mark, designed to confuse the blocking scheme, and so far it's been effective. Not a lot of long gainers from the line of scrimmage for Central.
Nice roll right. Fires it downfield off the chest of a receiver and incomplete. It looks like the intended target was Randy Buller, hitting right square on the numbers and bounced out.
And you know that Central has got to be concerned about the interior of the Northern line, because here's the second play in a row where they've rolled out. First to the left and now to the right, trying to get away from some of that pursuit and some of that pressure. He had Buller open. Threw the ball just a little high.
I tell you what, I think he was intending to throw it to Martin Williams.
Number 85, Mike McCurdy, was out there. Although it didn't look like he was the intended receiver, it looked like it was going behind him, and he stuck his hands up and had a glance off his fingertips.
Well, anyway, it's fourth down and punt. Central will boot it away. Fielded at about the 10 by Northern. Marshall out near the 20-yard line with it. Late flag as two of the players well away from the football are kind of pushing each other around, and the Central players clapping as if this might be against Northern. Now waved off by the official now.
You know, it looked like they were going to call that on number 22, Tom Cross, for Northern. And the official turned around late into this confrontation. Cross was on the bottom after the block and was just trying to get up. And I think initially they were going to call some roughness on Cross or some holding on him, but as you see, they waved it off.
No penalty, and so it'll be first and 10 Northern, football at their own 20. They lead 10-7, 4-10. Still to play third quarter. What has been a very entertaining football game from McCamley Field, Portage. Brett Keller, the quarterback, standing at the line of scrimmage. Malone breaks some tackles out across the 30. They'll mark it at the 32.
Malone, nothing inside, bounces to the outside, gets around the corner, picks up 12 yards. He's got to impress you. That's 216 yards last week. I guess it's not a fluke.
John Shute, is that 100 yards now for Malone? Yep, crosses the century mark. And he came into this ball game with 299, so he's over 400 yards. And we aren't even through with game number 3. There's Matt Malone, and he is making some believers.
And remember, he's the leading tackler on defense for this team also.
He ought to get tired, shouldn't he? First and 10, Portage Northern. The sophomore Green, and the field hit him in that time. Kurt Johnson was there for Portage Central, had Green not gone down. It'll be a loss back to the 31, second down and 12. 10-7. Portage Northern on top, and there some of the Northern faithful. And they would love a victory.
And some of the sloppy field we talked about early on in the game starting to come into play here in the second half. A lot of standing water in the field. Even though you can't see it, you tend to sink down in the field. And as they chew it up from playing football, your footing gets a lot worse. And we'll see that going into the fourth quarter.
Malone breaks into the secondary. 40. 45, midfield, and down into Portage Central territory with it. 22 yards on the carry from Matt Malone.
Well, a big hole right in the middle of the Northern offensive line. We'll see it again. And some great moves by Malone. Look at this hole. Great blocking up front. Malone with a couple of good moves. Gets inside and outside. Runs past number 11, Matt Coop. Picks up 22 yards.
Well, Matt Kopp has found himself one-on-one with Malone a lot more than he's wanted to tonight. The safety for Portage Central has at least slowed Malone down enough.
The secondary has tackled him more than the defensive line.
First and 10 Northern. The Huskies on the move again. It's Klopp down near the 40. Gain of 6 or 7. And I'll tell you, Northern's feeling it out here.
Number 22, Tom Cross, 5'9", only 152 pounds. We've seen him run with the ball, and we've seen him make a couple of great blocks here tonight. Impressive. He's the feature for Northern and shuffles the plays in and out. They've got a good running game going. We saw it on their first possession here in the third quarter when they went down to the field goal. They took the ball on their own 20-yard line and have advanced it down now to Central's 40-yard line, all on the ground.
Huskies playing impressive football. They lead Portage Central 10-7. Less than 2 minutes to play third quarter. And encroachment against Central, I'm sure. And that'll be a free first down.
Looks like number 88, Devon Holderman, jumped into the neutral zone.
We'll talk things over with Brent Keller and make a decision. And we'll remind you, next Friday night here on 41, Paw and Delton. And we're looking forward to that one. We've been to Delton for a couple of basketball games with Friday Night Sports. Very well received up there. The crowds are great. And for that one, Paw and Delton, it will be dynamite. Next Friday night, 11:30. First down 10, Portage Northern. Football at the 35 of Central. Ocean man is Malone. There's the football. Hard to tell where he is. Is he still loose? No. Down to about the 30 with it.
And before that carry, Malone had 14 carries, 129 yards. He can tack on another 5 or 6. He's having a great football game.
I tell you what, he dives into those piles, and you see the pile move. You don't really know where Matt Malone is. And I saw somebody shoot out of that pile. It was a blocker in the end, but I thought for a minute Malone had found his way through the pile and out loose again.
And I think for only the second time tonight, he's on the sideline, just taking a well-deserved breather.
Second down, short 5, facing Northern. Clock. Oh, lost his footing, or maybe a big game there. Another first down, though, for Northern.
Big hole this time on the right side of the Northern offensive line. They're opening holes on the right, up the middle, on the left. They just got the line of scrimmage control, both offensively and defensively. And they've really taken the tone of this football game. Except for late in the second quarter, when penalties hurt them, they've really controlled this game from the end of the first quarter to now.
They could be out front 10-0 very easily right now. First down 10, Portage Northern. Football down at the 24 of Central. Keller to Clark. He won't get much of anything. Bob Pop, I think, over there. On the stop, help from Dave Polinsky.
A good pursuit by the linebackers. of Central, who we haven't